Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another interesting episode of Showtime with your favorite girl, Aisha. As you all know, in here we talk about everything entertainment. But before we get into what we have for you for the day, as always, let's take our very quick break. And when we return, the show continues. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
A forest of emotions hiding you behind a back of mystery, but you do not know this yet. Because you are buried in a cocoon of anxiety, darkening the light of your eyes sometimes. Sometimes a closed door is a shield keeping you locked in till it is safe to go outside. Appreciate the time you spent indoors. You did not miss much. This world is not a daily jamboree, you will catch up. This moment of your life is a testament. A push, a pull, a belly button to ignite all your desires because you are not a chamber of commerce. You are not made for the currency of men who left you shivering in the blistering cold and worn to the bones. Do not sell yourself short. Years from now, you will flip through the pages of the past and marvel at the miles you covered, the seasons you survived with all the burdens saddled to your back. When you tell the story to the world, show them how you adapted to time, to space, and darkness, because even in the dark, you are flame eternally.
Welcome back. As I said earlier, this place is all about entertainment, and today we have a special guest in the studio. Her name is Jamila Abass. You're welcome on the show, Jamila.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Aisha.
Yeah. Jamila said she's an accidental poet, but right now she's enveloped in the world of poetry. Let's get to hear more about how you found yourself into poetry.
Oh. Well, it's a funny story, unlike the, poets that I know who just know that they fell in love with poetry at first sight and thought stuff like that. For me, it was rap at first.
Are you sure? Or someone actually broke your heart and you just felt, no, I have to tell this person my mind. And it's okay, I'm now a poet.
That's a funny story, but it's for another time.
Okay.
Love poems are very hard for me. But, back to the question, it was rap music for me. I fell in love with rap poetry, and then I found out about poetry through this Islamic poet called Buna Muhammad. I saw him, he was doing a freestyle at the airport. I was watching this video. I was like, what is this? This isn't rap, but like, at the time I didn't really know about spoken word performance poetry. I just knew it wasn't rap, and I was fascinated. And then I watched more videos on YouTube and I explored more. And then incidentally, when I was in my second year in university at the time, my friend mentioned, there's this literary society, I think you'd like it. You like books and stuff. She invited me one Wednesday, like they hold their meetings every Wednesday. It's ULS at the time, University of Abuja Literary Society. And then I attended. And then there was this boy on stage. He was just going like da. I was like, this is what I watch on YouTube. Like, what is going on? Yeah. And then I kept attending those meetings and I realized, you actually like this. It's cool. You enjoy this. And there was a contest the week after I joined, a poetry performance contest. And I said, let me try this thing. I might be able to. I don't know. It was my first time. And then I kid you not, I picked up the pen. I remember it was on a Tuesday. I started writing and I didn't go to bed till about 3 a.m. I just couldn't stop. It just kept flowing. Like there was so much information in my head that I was eager to put down on paper. And I finished writing the piece and I looked at it. I'm like, okay, this is nice. It's titled Feminine Energy. It's my first written poem. Wow. And then I rehearsed and I tried to memorize with the help of my friends and stuff. And the next Wednesday, I went on stage and I was shaking to my boots. I was shaking.
I was actually expecting to hear, I made it, like it was all so smooth.
No, it wasn't. I'm not even gonna lie. I was shaking to my boots. But
apparently others didn't notice, but my friends who know me, you know, who knew how I usually am, apparently they looked at me and they said, oh, she's shaking, you know.
There's
I found this out after my performance. I was on fire. I just kept going, oh, this is not, you know, I just went, so what, I'm a soldier. And I won that performance. I won that what do they call it, slam?
Wow.
I won my first ever slam, my first ever poem at my first ever performance. And then after that, it just kept going. I met Ben 200, luckily. I'm a very big radio personnel at the time. And from there, I got an invite from the United States Embassy. And I had to perform for the ambassador and stuff. And then it just skyrocketed from there.
Oh,
so, yeah.
So are you saying it was a boy that gave you that vision?
I guess.
Are you saying it was a boy that gave you that vision?
I guess you can say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you been into the industry? Should I call it an industry?
Yes, you can call it an industry. And it's fast growing. I wouldn't say fast. Gradually, we're getting there. I've been performing since 2015. Yeah, I've been performing officially, like on stages, since 2015. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the stage fright is no longer there.
It's always, there's always that agitation when you're going on stage.
Really?
Yeah. It's not fear or like fright per se. You're just eager. It's like this, like you're nervous. There's so much in me. Will the audience welcome what I have to say? Would it be a receptive audience?
A lot of if.
Yes, because it's difficult getting on stage. You know, people have different opinions about things and ideologies and how they respond to things. Sometimes you go and the audience are looking at you like this. And so you're just hoping to deliver well enough for them to, you know, receive you in a capable way. Yeah.
So how do you picture poetry?
Honestly, for me personally, it's sort of like a self-care. For me, poetry is self-care first before it's anything else. It's self-care. It's a way I find myself. Sometimes as humans, we get lost occasionally.
Oh, it's actually self-care to the poet before it even goes out.
I don't know about others, but I think every poet will agree that poetry to an extent is self-care for them. Okay.
Does that mean that in every poem there's an atom of truth?
In every poem there's an atom of truth. Sometimes there's so much you have to say, there's so much you want to say to people that you're not able to say to their faces, you know. But then poetry eases you into it, you know. It allows you a platform to say it, but not in it allows you a platform to say it audaciously, but not so offensive to the person or the group of people or the issue you're trying to address and stuff. So it's self-care in a way. Yeah, it's a way to unburden. It's nice.
So do you see poetry as an entertainment? I'm saying this because a couple of poets feel it's not okay. I don't need to say that.
Or
answer.
No doubt, it could be a source of entertainment, yes, but most poets are social advocates. You know, most poets are more concerned with addressing societal issues and trying to improve, you know, touch on subjects that are usually very delicate and avoided by, you know, other type of entertainers. But I would say, to an extent, every poet is an entertainer. When I started poetry, it was purely social advocacy too for me. At the time, you know, talking about oppression to women, you know, rape, things like that, domestic violence, stuff like that. That was what I was I was concentrating on that part of poetry, and then gradually I realized, oh, you can actually be entertaining with it. People will be more welcoming to it, and I think that's why poetry as an industry, we're finding it a bit difficult to break that bridge, you know, into the
blend in.
because it's too serious. But then there's a few poets now who are being a bit more easy with it, who are learning how to put out their information in a more subtle and welcoming way. So I'm exploring aspects like that too.
For me, actually, or rather for us, the laymen Yeah, because we don't know much. Growing up, we saw poetry as a way to share your emotions. Like
Yes.
we just mostly it was all about love poems.
Oh,
You get love poems were just the main thing. Like growing up now, like being in this era, this is the time that I now realize that poetry is not only about love
it's
and
not.
stuff. Like you guys are basically too
It's not.
serious right now. Is it about the society we live in?
It's deeper than that. Honestly, for some people see poetry as sort of like a revolution. And to an extent it is true. Because honestly, like I said earlier, there's just people who have so much pent-up emotion. There's so much to say. And what best way to say it than in lyrics,
Yeah,
you know?
so what I'm saying is it that now we have no love?
Oh, what do you mean?
The love between within us. Is it that now we have no love within us, that we are more focused on advocacy kind of poems?
No. Of course, why
are you guys leaving that sweet part of poetry? Like, why are you guys giving us
so many love poets? We have so many love poetry out there. I have a few love poetry out there.
I think
but
for me, I think focusing on love poetry. Yeah, it will help us.
Yeah, it's nice, but I mean, how much love poetry can we put out there until someone says, I'm tired? Can't you guys say something meaningful?
No, it's actually is love a joke to you?
It's
love is a joke to you. Yeah?
It's not a joke to me. there's so much love poems out there. There's so many love poems. Honestly, at some point when I listen to love poetry, I'm like, oh, not again.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful at the end of the day. Yeah. The thing is, poets now are realizing, oh, I can touch on this other subject that is very delicate and sensitive that I've always wanted to talk about.
Is it that
they
just see, okay, love poetry is a norm, you understand?
Yes.
So I have to look for something.
Not have to, it's need. It's a need. I wouldn't say it's something they have to do, because that would imply that they're being compelled, you know, to fit into a certain, you know, but it's a need. I'm sure as a media person, there's topics that you are very passionate about, that you want to discuss, but are very sensitive and you have to be careful about, especially on air. But as a poet, in a way, you're kind of a rebel. When you get on that stage, no one can tell you anything. So it's like it's your time, it's the opportunity you get to express.
It's your moment.
I'm like, oh, there's big people out here who are in charge of the amount of the way they take salaries out of
who I really want to speak to.
Who I want to speak to, and I have this opportunity. Oh, I can do that, but I can put it in rhymes, so it doesn't seem too offensive, but they get the message. You know,
so nice. Okay, so let's quickly take a break and listen to some of your interesting
well, I hope you like it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's take a quick break and listen to some of Jamila's interesting points. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Do not lie to me about a world of galaxies you see in my eyes, or how my eyes glisten brighter than the moon in the dark when I smile, because it doesn't. I should know. Do not protect my feelings with lies. Hold me with the burden of truth, I can take it. I want you bare, naked. It's the only way I'm comfortable enough to let you see me unarmed, without my armor, devoid of concealment and disguise. Is the only way through these walls. The only way you get to see what's beneath the hard exterior. I do not want this from us, our love. This defect that love is. I'm not an experiment on what loving a strong woman is. Do not test me. All I ask is you love me.
Before we went for this quick break, Jamila was telling us how she got into poetry. She actually said it was because of a guy, and that one I'll always hold. All right, Jamila. Hope you're having a nice time here
Yes, I
today.
am actually.
Okay. So, can you tell us the challenges poets face generally?
Oof. Oh my God. Where do I begin?
Hmm.
Well, because poetry is a becoming industry right now. It is quite challenging, especially for poets who are trying to make a career out of performing. First, there are the payment challenges. It is crazy. Everybody offers to pay you with this exposure, this superficial exposure that we hear all the time, you know, forgetting that poetry actually takes works. I know I have personally worked on poems who have taken who have taken weeks to complete writing. It takes weeks for a poet to memorize one poem. You know, it's a lot of hard work. And honestly, I think it's a bit unfair, you know, but I understand the type of people that Nigerians are. They're not people who welcome slow things, you know, as easily. So yes, the aspect of payment, one, is a huge challenge. Two, acknowledgement in itself. Acknowledgement goes a long way for a poet. For someone to acknowledge that, oh, the work that you do, the work that you put out there it takes a lot of work. You know, it's something else. And just getting the gigs generally is an issue in itself. Like I said, there's not a lot of people who embrace poetry, but I think it's better than it was when I started, you know. So basically, those are the challenges for poets who try to make careers, like who try to actually make money off of, you know, the art that is poetry. Aside that, it just comes down to challenges that every other artist, you know, has.
So you actually said some of the challenges, how Nigerians embrace
yes,
poetry. So can you tell us, how do you think Nigerians have embraced poetry?
I would say slowly but surely.
Still slow
right now. It's faster than it was before, but it could be better. It could be better, considering, you know, the beauty that it is. It could be better. I've seen that it's so much better than it was years ago, but it could be better.
Would you like to share what you think could needs to change?
First of all, I think we as poets, well, some of us are already putting in the work. We just have to learn how to imbibe a little more pop, not pop as per music or, you know, bustle and bustle, but we just need to add a little more fun into our performances and the way we deliver our poetry.
I said you should focus on love poems. All these musicians that you see, most of their stuff is love.
This is premium advice you're giving me. This is premium advice, but yeah,
it's too hard. The country is too hard. We don't need all this advocacy stuff anymore. It's too hard. The country is hard.
It will get better.
Yeah, so give us something that we'll keep imagining, even if it doesn't happen.
Fake life.
Yeah.
Anyways, as poets, I feel like we need to put in some work. Some more work into, you know, embracing a little more entertainment into adding a little more entertainment into the art of poetry. Like I've seen poets who perform and adding some music in the background.
There are some that haven't performed, like the acts.
Yes,
they act their points.
The stage plays and stuff like that. And then secondly, our art centers, Nigeria as a whole, we have a ministry that is supposed to support youth and arts and, you know, stuff like that. But I mean,
ministry,
the push isn't as, you know, as much as, you know, it's not as, you know, as it should be. You know, the support isn't so, you know.
And you don't feel it's from the group itself?
When you say group, what do you...
From you people, like the poets?
No, every poet is... I could call... Sitting here, I could call 10 poets and tell them, oh, there's an event right now. It's by 3 p.m. Can you make it? And I'll get 10 poets who are willing to be out there on time. That's how willing they are. But you need to have you need to have a platform. You need to have people who are willing to welcome you, push you out there. That's the second thing.
Yeah.
I think the Nigerian government needs to what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? To invest more in the art segment of the youth. And then aside that, I think also it would help a lot if the entertainment industry as a whole, like the music industry, could welcome poetry as an art. It's happening. I've seen I think I heard recently of a piece that was recorded by a poet, a very dear friend of mine, Mr. Basha Muneni, with a known musician. I wouldn't mention the name because it hasn't been, officially finalized. But yeah, it'd be nice if the music labels, would welcome poetry as a branch of, art and music, because at the end of the day, it's rap. It's just rap, but with a little more.
Will you be willing to collaborate with an artist?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I'm looking forward to it and working towards it, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yes.
So, Jamila, what makes your poem unique? What makes you unique in your own way? Just imagine we have a room full of poets.
Yeah.
And how can someone handpick you?
Well, I think every poet has his or her style. Every poet has his or her style, but for me, I would say it's my delivery, the way that I deliver, the lingo that I use when I write, and the way that I interact with my fans or the audience in itself is completely different. Initially, when I started, I was, like I said, I was focusing more on social advocacy, and then I was focusing also on being the mouthpiece to, the northern Muslim girl who doesn't have someone to speak on her behalf. Yeah, so that aspect singled me out as, if we're looking for a Muslim poet who's from the north about certain issues, this is the person that you want to go to. There's not a lot of us out there, there's just a few of us who are. At first, that was it. But right now, I'm trying to carve out a niche for myself, an identity, aside from just that as a person, And I think I'm doing just fine. The way I deliver, the way that I write, there's a signature to it, and I think that's why I'm singled out.
Let's just look at this whole place as a medium. Like this is an opportunity right now. You actually said you're looking forward to have collaborations with artists. Yeah.
Yes.
Tell them why they should pick you.
Oh my God.
Show them rather.
Show them. Are you asking me to perform? Are you asking me to perform?
Of course.
Okay.
It's an opportunity.
Okay. I think if you picked me, it would add a certain level of flair that is not the ordinary, music genres that, Nigerians or the world as a whole are used to. I could bring a little more taste to your music, or not. Or it could just be, a piece. I don't know, but we could work on something together, whoever you are. As for performing, love poem.
Free.
Okay.
Feel free. You've touched the right part. So let's go.
I knew I'd get you there. Okay, let's see. In face on. This is not your conventional love poem.
Okay.
Do not promise me forever. I do not want a game of pain and kisses you see. Promises are made and then left unkept. Do not lie to me about a world of galaxies you see in my eyes, or how my eyes glisten brighter than the moon in the dark when I smile, because it doesn't. I should know. Do not protect my feelings with lies. Hold me with the burden of truth, I can take it. I want you bare, naked. It's the only way I'm comfortable enough to let you see me unarmed. Without my armor, devoid of concealment and disguise, is the only way through these walls. It's the only way you get to see what's beneath the hard exterior.
Okay, that's enough. Don't take me. That's enough. That's
You were
enough.
falling
Yeah,
in love.
yeah, no.
You were falling in love.
I was already inside. I was already inside your poem. Like I could visualize myself with
that's
her.
nice.
Yeah, it was actually a nice one.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so what advice can you give
To
poets out there? Like people, okay, I don't want to say upcoming because some people get offensive with the word upcoming.
why? We all started somewhere.
I don't know. So let it just be what advice can you give to people who want to come into the industry
Well,
and don't know how to start and what to do about it?
just start. There isn't a better advice. Just start, and then you find your way from there. It's nobody of all the top poets, the top 3 poets in Nigeria currently, I know personally, I don't think they waited for them to be able to write or deliver in a certain way before they started. They just started and then they learned along the way. You know, there's going to be hurdles, but honestly, the best advice is just start, just begin, and then connect with as many poets as you can. You know, read a lot of books. You need to be able to read to write, and if you can't write, you can't perform. And then,
And are you telling them that your doors are widely opened?
yes,
Are you sure?
always, all the time. And please attach
Please.
yourself to a mentor. It helps.
Listen, Jamila is saying her doors are actually open.
I feel like this is
Just
a setup.
in case she doesn't get back to you. Get back to me. I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, viewers, you've heard it all from Jamila Abass. And like you heard, she said she just started poetry. Like she came up, her first ever poem got her to where she is right now.
Yes,
Yes.
it did.
So you see, this is a very beautiful engagement right here because I learned a lot and I know that my viewers actually learned a lot.
Oh, I'm
too.
glad.
Yes. So this is all we have for you on today's episode of Showtime with me, Aisha. Join us same time next week for a more beautiful one. Until next time, it's bye for now.